Alright, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Let one of you brothers be edified. It says, Biden calls for emergency NATO meeting. And what is that NATO emergency meeting all about? The rockets that hit Poland and the issuing of Article 5. Now, if they're willing to go that far, this is the beginning of their demise. That's what I'm laughing for, because it is truly the beginning of the demise. And this is what they wanted so bad, and now they have the pretense to get to what they want. All right, this is what America, NATO, all right, EU, the elites really wanted. They want a war between Russia and the U.S. and its allies. This is not about a Ukraine situation. This is about total war. And war, only one people wins in war, and that's the war machine, the people that controls all hands, that controls both sides. They're the only real winners of it all. All right, they're the real winners of it all, and they've been pushing this for a long time, and they got what they want. And this is probably the pretense, because a lot of people saying a couple of weeks ago how the UN was gonna, well, not the UN, Ukraine was gonna use a dirty bomb and blame it on Russia so that the US and NATO to get involved. But now they have another way of getting involved in that war. By what? By this particular thing right here. So I'm gonna read some of it, and this is all part of the plan. It says U.S. President Joe Biden has convened an emergency meeting among NATO and allied leaders after a deadly blast rocket in Polish border town near Ukraine, vowing to assist and investigate the incident. Biden met with officials, 6 other NATO states. I'm laughing because it's the word six is 6 again. It says, as well as Japan. What Japan got nothing to do with it, but hey, whatever. Early on Wednesday morning, to discuss an explosion which killed 2 people in the Polish town. I'm not going to pronounce that. The day prior, and the White House said ahead of the meeting held in Bali, Indonesia, amid this year's G20 summit, the president was asked whether he could share what he knows about the blast, but he simply said no. 6 senior officials from Germany, Canada, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, France, Britain, and Japan took part in the sit down with their American counterparts, according to Reuters. And it is unclear why Polish officials did not participate, or whether NATO would hold a separate meeting with all of its 30 members, as the bloc's Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg previously noted the alliance would consult on the incident. Biden expressed deep condolence for the loss of life to the Polish president and during a phone call on Tuesday, offering full U.S. support for assistance with Poland's investigation while retaining the United States' ironclad commitment to NATO. While an unnamed U.S. intelligence official earlier told the Associated Press that a Russian missile caused the explosion, the Pentagon later clarified that it had no information on a corroborate such a claim. Moscow too has a rebuttal allegation that it was behind the blast, with Russian defense minister stating the incident had nothing to do with Russia's missiles. After Polish media outlets circulated photos of debris said to be missile fragments. Ukraine, however, was nonetheless quick to accuse Russia of missile strike on NATO state, with President Vladimir Zelensky suggested it was an attack on the bloc's collective security in very serious escalation. Poland also summoned Moscow's ambassador to discuss the matter. So when times things like this, cooler heads must prevail, right? Soon after the explosion, Warsaw said it would place its military in high alert and consider whether to invoke NATO's Article 4 provision, which requires a consultation among the alliance if a member state believes they are under military threat or wish to discuss any other issue of concern. It's different from Article 5, a collective security measure that could compel all NATO states to come to defense of another member. So they trying to push this thing, man. They trying to get this ball rolling. They want to get this world war to take place, man. So they're going to discuss it. There's going to be a lot of finger pointing. But to be honest, I don't see it quite yet. But they're going to do something to really get themselves involved. And you notice that Ukraine is like, oh, look, well, that is Russia. Russia did it. So don't be surprised if the U.S. had Ukraine do it to get Poland involved. There's a lot of dirty things going on. But that's according to prophecy. Real quick, Revelations 8 and 11. No. Revelations 8 and 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by the reason of another voice of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound. So what is woe, woe, woe? World War III. Alright? World War III. We in the midst of World War III. And the U.S. is itching. Alright, they scratching, they trying their best to get involved with this. And what proves it? All the missiles, all the military, all the money that they're funding Ukraine, funding Ukraine with state-of-the-art technologies to fight off the Russians, which is the ultimate proxy war that's being taking place. And that's what they want. They want to get involved, and it's all prophetic. Revelations 9 and 12. One woe is past, behold, there come two woes more hereafter, World War III. And the sixth angel the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. So you have angels that's slowly allowing certain things to take place. And that great wind, that great destruction that's coming is World War III, the war to end all wars. All right, and how it's going to end? By thermonuclear destruction. Okay? By thermonuclear destruction. This is how all this is going to end. And Esau could play the game as they're going to win, but they're not going to win. Not by a long shot. All right, it's gonna be a lump-sided destruction. And America's not sitting in a good place right now. Though right now at the moment it's seemingly as they sit in a good place. Now I was paying attention to, let me see if I have it on deck. I always go there. So I've been paying attention to this. All right, so for the House, for the Senate seat, they said, according to Fox, there's one more seat left. So either the Democrats take the seat for the Senate, or the Republicans right down to the middle, how it once was. But for the House now, look at this. So just one more. So the Republicans are going to take the House. So what's so significant about this? Well, a nation that's divided cannot stand. All right? Nations that's divided cannot stand. Let me get that real quick. It's one in, I think I'm thinking Luke 11. It says, if Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? So who is Satan? Is it talking about a spiritual demon? No, it's talking about the man on earth. When the Lord was talking, when he was trying to call the Lord, he was basically saying, look, if he be of Satan, how can he be casting out demons? All right. Then he made this statement. Okay. Because the demon, Satan, his kingdom, which we are under his kingdom by his people, they're divided. They've been divided. All right. And there's nothing, they've always been at war with each other. Either they're calling themselves the British, the French, the Spaniard, the Dutch, the Poland, the Russians. All right. But the difference now than ever, World War I, World War II already took place. World War III is about to take place. Real quick. 2nd Ezra 13. What was that one? I just wanted to see that point. Yes. 30, and the point is at 31. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, talking about the Lord. Okay. And one shall undertake to fight against another. One city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. So it was forecast that war, not any war, major war was going to take place throughout the whole four corners of the earth. 2nd Ezra 6, where is that one? Slovakia. 2nd Ezra 6, and I just want the points. Or I'll just get the one at 16 instead. 24. At that time shall friends fight against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear for those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and 3 hours they shall not run. So men are going to fight other men. All right, nation against nation. Esau, I have to bring this. Revelation 6 and 4 says, and they went out another horse, and it was red. And this red horse represent Esau. All right. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and it was given unto him a great sword. So it was destined, it was prophetic. Everything that's going on is of the prophecies that this man, as he's in power, is going to do what? He's going to cause war at a grand scale of things. All right. There's no peace when this man's in power. Absolutely no peace. Okay? None whatsoever. Because this man is deaf. He is the adversary. He is Satan. Isaiah There's a couple of scriptures. 19:2, it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." So it's going to be civil war in the streets of America, the streets of Russia, streets of Britain, streets of all the EU. All right. There's going to be some sort of civil war. All right. Because a lot of people is not agreeing with the rulers of this war. So they're going to fight one against another. But the key thing to this is kingdom against kingdom. Okay? And this great alliance that has been formed, they're going to now look and finding ways to exercise their force. Matthew 24:6, it says, "They shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation," meaning a race war. It's not talking about actual nations. The nation of the U.S. versus the nation of Japan. No, it's talking about Esau against Moab, Moab against other Moabites, and so forth. And kingdom against kingdom. And that's what we're seeing. All right? We're seeing the development of kingdom versus kingdom. Not just any old kingdom. The two major powers, the two major players in this movie is about to go head to head. It says, "And there shall be famines," which they've been said that famine is going to be in a biblical proportion, because this whole fighting thing that's happening is happening in the world's greatest grain distribution center, so to speak. All right, Ukraine. Ukraine it holds the majority of the grains in the world, in the earth. So happens, and that's what all the fighting is taking place. So famines is going to take place. It says, in pestilence, which we've been in under the guise of pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. That's why I just picking up stuff. I don't eat this crap, so I went to Burger King. I said, let me just look at the menu. Man, for a fucking meal, I'm glad I don't eat from that shit. $10 and for fucking, what was that shit? The Whopper and all, $10.99. And we're talking about a meal. We're not talking about like you getting a full blown meal. We're talking about just a burger, fries, and drinks. Unheard of. All right. So inflation has really taken a toll, even from your local shopping. And this is all because of these people that's forcing this thing on everyone. So the consequences and repercussion of all things, realm versus realm. Other worlds. That's going to be the end of it all. But kingdom versus kingdom that we're seeing right now. All right. Revelations 13. I'm sorry. I just went to the point. Revelations 13 and 2, it says, "And there was a beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." And who's synonymous with the leopard? That's Alexander the Greek, right? That was his, what he wore historically, all right, as he was conquering the known world as at the time. And he so happens to be the head of the Edomite kingdoms, all right, on the planet Earth. He was that great leopard, all right, that he-goat. It says, and his feet were like as of feet of a bear. So the beginning was Alexander the Greek, and the end of anything is his feet, which the feet so happens to be a bear. And the bear represent Russia, all right? Russia is that bear. So the end of this damn place is going to be that bear. The end of Esau's kingdom. Alright? As in his mouth, as the mouth of a lion, which that represents what? The British Empire. It says, and the dragon gave him his power and his great and his seat and a great authority. So this authority is being exercised to this day. So now they're trying to find ways of, should they go to war? They're gonna investigate it, which they're gonna probably end up saying that, oh, Russia did it, and either more sanctions, which that will be the smart thing to do. But we're talking about a stupid people that doesn't know that they're being played right now to their own destruction. Because everything I'm reading is prophetic. It's showing the indication how this place is going to end. All right. It says, let me go to this real quick and end it off. Revelation 17. And 15, it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are the people, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And this is a vision that John the Revelator seen. All right, that great whore. That great whore is America, that sits upon all nations. Okay, all nations gravitate to this place. All nations wants to be a part of this place. The land of milk and honey, call it. All right. The city of gold, so to speak, which is all lies, is in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. These shall hate the whore. And the 10 horns represent what? NATO. Because NATO is going to eventually turn on America. All right. We just now into winter. We're in November. And here in the East Coast, the temperature just dropped. And again, they're giving heat, but what about all the other places that America, through their sanctions and through their sloppiness, have the citizens suffering? So eventually, NATO, something in their spirit is going to turn on this place. Right now, America is leading NATO and the EU in a war that once they get into that hot war with that particular nation, it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be real devastating. All right? It says, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, which is ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay? It says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree. So what was that agreement in 1958, I believe? NATO and the EU, which NATO was born in 1958, offered the strength and the backing of what? Go against Russia. All right? That's what NATO and the EU was established for. And it so happens that that agreement was called the Treaty of Rome. And brother, I'll never forget it, Amnala find the quote that said that they said when they signed that deal, they felt like Romans at that time. So it was Rome all over again. That the beast wound that was healed. All right. So they all made the agreement to make America the head. All right. Because of what? Russia. Slovakia. Was it 1958 or 1949? I gotta look into that again. Slovakia, if I got the dates wrong, but America became a superpower after World War II. So although these nations came together, only one sit on top of them all. All right. So they made an agreement. It says, and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So the Most High is going to destroy this place. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And that's where the stage that we at. And now we in the stage of, let me get to this one and I'm ending off. Revelations. That's what that's 27. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loose out of his prison. 1,000 years is from 1353. Well, actually, hold on. Sorry. Was it 325 AD? We always say. Well, it probably was earlier than that, but until 1353, when the Ottoman Turks took down Constantinople. All right, and that's when Esau was running shot. That's when the whole movement of Jake getting out of power, and these devils coming into power. So since 1492, with Christopher Columbus and him getting sanctioned by Rodrigo Borgia to come to this part of the world, they've been loose, all right, and caused devastation throughout the whole four corners of the earth. And they shall go out to deceive the nations, all right, and that's what they have done, okay, from the democracy to the image of Cesare Borgia. They have deceived all nations, which are in the four quarters of the earth, north, east, south, west. Gog and Magog, to gather them together to the battle, which Gog and Magog is Russia. All right, gather them together to the battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea, which is what? That great war, Armageddon. All right, this was all this deception, all this, the overturning of governments, all this wickedness that took place from the Bolshevik rebellion, if I'm saying it correctly, with Stalin and Marx, which were all so-called Jews, from the birth of the USSR to World War I, World War II, to America being a superpower. All these, in Vietnam War, all these Cold Wars, all this deception around the world was all leading to this one particular battle, which now they have no other choice but to move forward. Article 4, Article 5, whatever means necessary to get into that war. And before this war, before the end, Revelations 13 and 16 must take place. Simultaneously as World War III is going. We almost out of here, man. This thing is done. Esau is done. Alright? So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.